Oh, here's the thing I've been thinking a lot lately. More than usual, if that's even possible. And let's be real, thinking is what got me into this mess in the first place.
My companies, my rockets, hell, even trying to launch cars into space, it all started with ideas that no one thought would fly. But what if the next big idea is one we should all be worried about? Yeah, I'm talking about World War. I know, sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. The way things are going, it's like we're sleepwalking into it. We've been getting too comfortable with the idea that peace is just going to keep rolling along. But we're standing on the edge of something huge, and it's not about the next iPhone or even some new Tesla model. It's about a full-scale global conflict. And guess what? China just made a move that could push us over the edge.
A few weeks ago, there were rumors floating around that China had already made its decision. They've given orders for their military to be ready for what?
To invade Taiwan. Yeah, I know it's a small island off the coast of China, but its significance, it's insane. Taiwan produces 92% of the world's most advanced chips, the ones that power artificial intelligence, military technology, cars, medical devices. You name it, Taiwan makes the stuff that keeps our world running. Now, you might think, okay, Elon, calm down. It's just Taiwan. The chips, sure, they're important, but it's not like this is going to lead to World War I, II. But let me tell you, China knows this. They've got their eyes on Taiwan. And it's not just about chips. It's about control, power, dominance.
Imagine this scenario: China launches a huge bombardment, and within hours they've obliterated Taiwan's Navy and Air Force. They've surrounded the island.
No ships, no aircraft getting in or out. Thousands of Chinese soldiers, both from military ships and civilian vessels, flood onto the island. Meanwhile, Taiwan's forces scramble to defend their beaches, slowing China's advance. But here's where things get even messier. The US steps in. We've promised to defend Taiwan, haven't we? This is where it gets tricky. In the simulations I've seen, things go south really fast. Chinese missiles destroy 2 US aircraft carriers in the first wave. US submarines, bombers, and aircraft, along with Japan's forces, managed to cripple China's amphibious fleet, but not without losses. We're talking about hundreds of aircraft, dozens of ships, and thousands of lives.
The US and Japan get their asses kicked in the first few hours in Taiwan. Taiwan's got its own problems. No power, no supplies, their electricity grid is gone, and they've got to defend their entire country without any backup.
It's just a cluster of chaos. And the worst part? There are simulations that show China wins. Others show Taiwan holding on for dear life. But we're talking about massive casualties, 5,000 Americans dead, 5,000 Taiwanese, and 10,000 Chinese. And that's just the beginning. Now you might be thinking, okay, Elon, this sounds like one of those wild simulations where everything goes to hell. But I've seen the data, and it's real. Every day China gets closer to making this a reality. You can feel it. Tensions are rising. Taiwan, as small as it is, could be the spark that sets off a conflict no one wants, but everyone fears.
And it's not just about the military either. China's military might is growing faster than most people realize. They've got the largest army in the world, nearly 3 million soldiers, and they've got these huge stockpiles of munitions.
They've got a massive advantage in terms of mass and logistics. And let's not forget, they've got the upper hand in a few key areas. Taiwan's right there, only about 100 miles off their coast. They don't need a huge military operation to attack. It's practically a short drive for them. Plus, they've been ramping up their presence around Taiwan. We're talking military jets, drones, bomberstons of them flying all around the island. Just recently, China wrapped up a huge naval exercise near Taiwan with their domestically built aircraft carrier leading the charge. They're pushing boundaries, they're testing the waters.
And I know what you're thinking, but Elon, the US is still the most powerful military in the world. We've got a massive edge when it comes to technology, right? Well, kind of, but not when it comes to what's coming next.
China has been aggressively working on hypersonic missiles, and they're ahead of us on that front. These missiles, they're fast, really fast. Like they can travel 10,000 kilometers per hour, which makes them nearly impossible to intercept. And get this, they can carry nuclear warheads. The big problem with that, we've been trying to catch up. We've got hypersonic projects in the works, but so far we've fallen behind. And if this tech goes mainstream, we're going to have a real problem on our hands. Missiles that travel at those speeds could potentially make it through our missile defenses, which puts the whole world at risk. And it's not just the tech itself, it's the unpredictability of the whole situation. We're talking about a system that can change course mid-flight, making it impossible to track and even harder to stop.
It's not just the missiles, though. Taiwan's in a tough spot, too. Their energy infrastructure is fragile. 97% of their energy is imported. China could easily cut that off, and then Taiwan would have a major problem.
Their energy reserves would run out within days. No power, no way to sustain their defenses. You might be thinking, okay, Elon, Taiwan can still hold off the invasion for a while, right? Maybe, but not forever. I've seen it firsthand what happens when resources run dry. Taiwan's only hope is in its porcupine strategy, small, effective weapons capable of taking out big targets. Think about it like Ukraine's strategy. They're arming themselves to the teeth with anti-ship missiles, drones, and everything they can get their hands on. But there's a flaw. Taiwan needs energy to keep all those systems running. And without it, it's only a matter of time before China gets what it wants. The real kicker, though, is how this could ripple across the global economy. Taiwan makes the chips. All of them, without their production, the world's tech industry is going to come to a screeching halt. We've already seen what happens when there's a chip shortage. It costs billions, slows down entire industries. But if China takes Taiwan, the economic fallout would be catastrophic. A $2 trillion hit to the global economy, at least. And that's just the beginning. So yeah, I've been thinking about this for a while now. The AI race, the military buildup, the global instability, it's all coming to a head. The stakes are higher than ever before, and no one seems to be talking about it enough. If we don't act fast, we could be staring down the barrel of something we can't control.
And here's the kicker on AI. It's going to play a huge role in all of this. I've been pushing for AI to be integrated into military tech, but it's not just for defense. It's going to change everything. Drones, missiles, automated warfare.
AI can make split-second decisions, hack enemy systems, even change the course of battles without human intervention. It's already happening, and we're just getting started. Now, I know some people don't want to hear this, but it's happening. The world's biggest powers, China, Russia, the US, are all gearing up for the next big war. And Taiwan's the flashpoint. If we're not careful, this could spiral into the kind of global conflict that no one can predict or stop. So yeah, maybe I'm crazy for bringing this up, but someone has to start the conversation. We've got one shot to prevent the unthinkable from happening. And I think we all know that we're running out of time.
As I sit here thinking about everything that's unfolding, I can't shake this feeling that we're on the edge of something monumental, something that, no matter how we try to avoid it, will be bigger than any war we've seen before.
It's not just about Taiwan. It's not even just about China and the US. It's about the way the world is shifting, how we're all so interconnected now, how one spark can set off a chain reaction that affects billions. I've seen what technology can do hell. I've been at the forefront of some of the most advanced tech in the world. But it's not just about building rockets or cars anymore. It's about how we wield that power. And right now, we've got these super powerful technologies, AI, cyber warfare, drones being developed faster than we can think about the consequences. And that's what scares me the most. This war, if it happens, won't look like anything we've seen before. It won't be just bombs falling from the sky. It'll be a cyber war, an information war, a war fought in the realms of algorithms and data. It's going to happen fast, and it's going to be brutal. What happens when countries can't trust their own systems anymore? When our electricity grids, our communications, even our water supplies are taken out with the click of a button? We've got to start thinking bigger, thinking ahead, and not just about the immediate moment. If there's one thing I've learned from all the projects I've worked on, it's that we can't wait for a disaster to strike before we act. Prevention has to be the goal. We need to work together more than just countries, more than just governments. We need industries, tech companies, scientists, military strategists, all of us, to unite in a way that can prevent this from escalating. We can't afford to be caught off guard. If we don't, I fear that when the dust settles, we won't recognize the world left behind.